Hi everyone! Today we're going to learn 3 things you need to know about Agustin Barrios. Agustin Barrios was also known as Agustin Barrios Mangore, or under the stage name Nitsuga Mangore, which comes from Mangore was a legendary chief of the Timbus Indians, and Nitsuga, which is literally Agustin spelled backwards. He was the self-proclaimed messenger of the Guarani race. Number 1. Practice makes the maestro. To achieve the results he was after, Barrios practiced a lot. He actually practiced so much that the fretboard of his Simplicio guitar showed important wear signs, as you can see on the picture here. As a young guitarist, when he practiced a new piece, he had a very strict ritual. He used 2 bags that he placed at opposite ends of the lectern. In bag number 1, there were 100 marbles or pebbles, and in bag number 2, there was nothing at the beginning. If he managed to play the piece without any mistake, then he would transfer a marble from bag number 1 to bag number 2 and replay the piece again. If he made a mistake in one of his repeats, he would transfer all marbles from bag number 2 back to bag number 1 and start again his count from scratch. Only when he could play 100 times the same piece in a row without a mistake would he be satisfied. That's dedication. Number 2. A sound experimenter. He used steel strings for the first 3 strings instead of the usual gut strings, so for E, B, and G strings. He added a small piece of rubber close to the bridge, called a sardinia, to temper the bright sound of steel, while still producing quite a sweet and strong sound. That gave harmonics a particular tone and sonority. There are 2 reasons why he chose to use steel instead of gut. He had a tendency to sweat profusely, which did not agree with the gut strings. The second reason is that when he started recording music in 1914, the microphones used at the time were not good enough to pick the sound from the E string when in gut. The sound was too dull on the recordings. His experience on stage with steel strings was not met with a great success at first, especially in Argentina. The elitist classical music audience of Buenos Aires harshly criticized him for this unusual sound. After that, Barrios was too ashamed to play works of classical guitar by Sor and Aguado, despite the fact that he mastered them. He turned his repertoire towards more popular music like tangos and marches. 3. Barrios and Segovia, the clash. Both guitarists met in 1921 in Buenos Aires. The main difference between the 2 men was original compositions. Segovia's only originals were his arrangements of music by classical composers. Barrios, on the other hand, played many of his own compositions because, as he said, there wasn't many pieces by others that inspired him. Segovia particularly liked Barrios' piece La Catedral, but he chose never to play it in concert because he thought that it would elevate Barrios to inaccessible heights and cast a shadow over his own artistic prestige. Segovia was starting to get really famous in Europe and the United States, but he never helped Barrios to arrange concerts there. Both men were never to be friends. They met again in 1944, a few months before Barrios' death, and during that last meeting, no note was played, and Segovia, who was famous and wealthy, offered a set of gut strings to Barrios, who was sick and struggling financially, as a last insult. The musical piece played in the background is Vals Opus 8, number 4. You can listen to my interpretation by clicking on the link in the description below. Would you like to learn more facts about guitarists and guitar composers? Let me know in the comments below. Did you like this video? Please leave me a like and hit the subscribe button to support this channel. Thank you.